Do you want some more banana?
Alright, thanks, you have your banana.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Don't say I didn't offer. If later on you say you want some more banana, I'll have eaten it.
I can't bite your banana.
0 bananas. You can't. Why can't you bite my banana?
I can't bite your banana on camera, that's wrong. Guess what, everybody?
I'll admit I've made a mistake. I mean, I'll put this on screen.
The actual screen.
But we're looking for that. Hi everybody, welcome to a Whitewick video. Welcome to Llangerig. Welcome to Llangerig in mid-Wales. This was a railway station just there, but it was used only once. It was used once in its entire lifetime. Not once a week, not once a month, once in its entire lifetime. Now, to tell you why and tell you the story of why it was only used only once, we're going to have to solve a mystery first.
Ooh.
We like a mystery. We like a mystery. It wouldn't be one of our videos without a bit of a mystery. The story of an abandoned tunnel in its truest sense up in the Cambrian Mountains behind the camera, and that will explain why this station was only used once. So, onwards.
Let's go.
So to give you a little further context of what we're doing, we've come about 6 or 7 miles along the A44 west towards Aberystwyth. And now that was the intention of the Manchester and Milford Railway. Now the Manchester and Milford Railway wanted to connect Manchester with the port of Milford down on the south coast of Wales and make a new freight route basically so they could get across the Atlantic. That was the goal. It all went a bit pear-shaped when they got here.
You can tell we're going uphill.
Yeah, right. So as we're walking up the side of the Cambrian Mountains here, trying to find this abandoned tunnel, which will help us tell the story of why that station back there only ever received 1 train in its lifetime, we'll ask ourselves the question, why did it ever get to that point? Why didn't it continue? And why 1 train? So the Manchester and Milford Railway had their parliamentary approval in place, but at the same time, by an error, another railway received parliamentary approval on this section, the Mid-Wales Railway. Now both companies panicked, realised the error and got on with building this section of the line down here, and of course that caused numerous problems in terms of literally physical fights at site, and subsequently another company was set up which built the line, and they were then to be charged, each of them would be charged for the building of that part of the line. And of course this drained the resources of the Manchester and Milford dramatically, so they had to stop their line in the south part at Strata, Florida, and just turn left and go to Aberystwyth. And eventually they didn't make the journey between Manchester and Milford. So what we're left with today is abandoned sections of the line, including the starting of a tunnel. And does anybody know how far they got with the tunnel?
Another one of those mysteries.
It's another one of those mysteries, so we're going to have a look and see if we can find out. We know they built 2 cuttings, quite extensive cuttings, up to where the tunnel was going to be. It was going to be a level tunnel because both portals are about 375 metres thereabouts.
It was going to be straight.
It was going to be straight, and it was going to be about 1.6 kilometres, about a mile long. But what we don't know, and I don't think anyone knows, is did they build construction shafts? Because you'd rarely build a tunnel without considering, or certainly that length, without considering a construction shaft. At least 2, maybe more. But how much did they do? How much did they dig out?
Fork in the road.
Fork in the road. Interesting. Yeah, but that doesn't add up. 453 metres Well, I read that the tunnel was going to be 375-ish. And they even said it would have been close to the highest tunnel in the UK had it not been for Torpentine, which is 400 metres. Strange.
Right.
Have we got the right place? Oh man. Number one, we're too high. So we know we've probably passed it. So we need to
Go back down.
go back down either until we get service or we think we're in a bit of a better place for it. Oh, sorry, I've really messed up, haven't I?
Well, it's been a lovely walk.
It's been a nice walk. We don't need to go any further that way because this is the 400 metre above sea level line here. And the tunnel, I'm almost certain it's 376, 380 within a few metres, right?
Yep.
So we're too high. We're like 20 metres too high.
Tired now.
I'm tired. We've come back down a long way to try and get service on our phone. I've been talking about doing this for like a year. I've been talking about doing this for such a long time. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time, and today presented itself as the perfect opportunity. So I got all my notes out, we got them in the car, and I had absolute confidence in where we were going. So okay, well, we don't bring the GPS with us because it's all in the car. And that was a mistake. Famous last words. I just had this point on the map and I knew it was there. My head said it's 100% there. I even marked it on this morning when we were having breakfast. I marked it, didn't I?
Yep.
And
Oh, I've got H+.
I marked the wrong
Stop!
Wrong bit.
Works.
Right, we made it down there somewhere. So we're going to put the drone up and see if we can get a better view out looking in. But there's bits down there where we could get down there, so let's do the drone thing and we'll see what happens. So this is where things get a bit interesting. Now first of all, can you see it? Can you see the cutting up to where there would be a portal for the tunnel? It is there, so do feel free to pause the video at sections. We looked and we looked and we flew around probably for the best part of an hour using lots of drone batteries. Now we couldn't see it, at least until later when we got home. But that's another story, we'll come to that very shortly. Now, whilst you're looking, I'll tell you why the Llangurig only ever had one train, a freight train probably at that, probably with no goods. Now the Mid Wales Railway was sneaky. Realising the major construction the Manchester and Milford had on their hands, they loaned a train from London North Eastern Railway and they sent it down the line to the station. This meant because of the contractual obligations by the Manchester and Milford at this shared section, they had to pay for its service as well, plus a few other things. Now, this caused them to pretty much abandon the project and, as we suggested earlier, stop the tunnel and head to Aberystwyth. So, have you spotted the tunnel? Comment below and let us know. As I said, we couldn't see it for looking for over an hour until we got home. But as I say, more on that very shortly. In the meantime, let's go and wade in and have a look. It was just thick with trees. When we looked at the drone shots, it was thick with trees. There was no opening. So we just found a picture that I saved on my phone from a while ago when somebody took a picture of it. And it looks like a clear opening, doesn't it? But we didn't see anything like that via the drone. Oh, this is turning to be a bit of a frustration, isn't it? Right, so to make sure we aren't going to miss anything at all, that line there is where everybody says it is. So we are going to go in and have a look and see if we can see it. I'm not convinced it's there from the drone shots. So we're just going to have to kind of go in carefully.
He said we again, everybody, not we. Just him.
Are going to go in carefully and see what we end up seeing. So thank you. Wish me luck.
Good luck. More be careful.
I mean, yeah. I'm just going to go really slowly.
Yeah, one step at a time. Do not put your foot down unless you've got a sturdy footing.
Yeah, because it's just this bit, getting over this bit. If I kind of go that way, maybe. I'm wondering I'm wondering what's down there, but I just can't get to it because it's just thick brambles, everything. I might try and go out and come back in again, but I'm questioning what that line is there. But it's not deep enough, but I can't go any further because in front of me right now is it's all mossy, and you put your foot somewhere and you stand on what is like a branch, and then you put your foot 2 feet to the left and you just sink down a 2-foot hole. It's so sketchy. I can't go any further for what is another 10 feet down there, 20 feet maybe, and there'd be nothing there. This is a bit frustrating. I feel really frustrated. I thought at worst we would show everybody the portal, the southern portal, the picture that we'd seen from online, like Chris Parker's picture I think it is, and I thought we'd be able to show people our own version of that, our own, here it is, everybody, we found it, this was a tunnel going to be here. But we can't even find the portal. We've been up here now for like 2 or 3 hours. A little bit frustrated, people, so our apologies for what might not be the most exciting video, but we did think that you know, we'd find something. What does really strike you is the landscape here. So we're 400 metres above sea level, and the people trying to build a tunnel here, they wouldn't have been able to build a construction shaft because it's 200 or 300 metres, the mountain goes another 200 or 300 metres up. So I don't know any construction shafts, maybe some of the Standish tunnels ones, but 200 or 300 metres shaft to dig. We don't know if they did dig any. We're not going to go and look because it's a landscape you can't even walk on. You can walk on the track here, but you can't for love nor money walk, you know, I just tried to walk 5 metres in there. I'm going to break my leg. Okay, so maybe a tad over dramatic there, but clearly the wrong time of year. So, did you see it? Did you spot the tunnel cutting? One of our issues when we got home was a second picture we found by Lee Holland. It shows the trees on the right hand side, but once we worked out that this picture was 20 years old, we removed them from our mind, and then at home studying the drone footage we saw this. That spot there we feel fits not only with the quarry spot marked on the old maps, but also the picture from Chris Parker. So we will come back, possibly next spring when the ground is a lot clearer. One more observation before we disappear for the day. Finally, we've explored this northern part of it, and I've been meaning to do this for a very long time to try and look at this tunnel, but we've been unsuccessful.
Oh yeah.
And some today, so we're a bit disappointed, as you can imagine.
But as ever, nice walk, beautiful scenery.
Yes, exactly, yeah, that's very true.
And wonderful company.
Didn't want my bananas, did you?
No, I don't want your banana.
Right, so thanks for watching. We appreciate your support as always. If you enjoy us just waffling along and try and find old, long forgotten, abandoned things,
Occasionally finding them, occasionally not.
finding them, yeah, sometimes we find tunnels, then do consider joining our little Patreon, because we've got a little Patreon community. Or that's pretty much the same as clicking the join on the YouTube button, because largely that is us sharing a few behind the scenes.
And we do weekly lives at the moment as well.
Weekly live shows, yeah, which is great. Right, thanks for watching as ever, people. We will see you this time next week.